All right, welcome to the Loan Ranger Radio Show. We're going to talk about a lot of things today. So whether you're looking to buy or refinance a home, doesn't really matter. This show can still be for you. We talk a lot about how to really evaluate your greatest asset, your real estate, challenges in the industry, challenges regarding insurance and solar panels, and who's doing what in terms of what type of financing are they doing, who's buying in today's market, what's going on with the Fed. And I think we ought to get Donald Trump and Jerome Powell in a boxing ring together. I'm pretty sure Trump's going to take him, but I think that guy's going down. What do you think? So if you have questions, concerns, you can give me a call. You can reach me at 407-706-3313. That's 407-706-3313, or my Tampa Bay friends at 813-213-4009. I also want to talk a little bit about my real estate rebate program. So first, I want to talk about something that's been really irritating me. You ever have those moments where something just really irritates you because it doesn't make sense? Now, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I think that a great deal of my success, aside from my service level, that I'm a direct lender, I'm in all 50 states, I've got great interest rates. But you know what? A lot of folks just think it's better to go to their bank. A lot of folks say, you know what? I've had a relationship with my bank. They must know everything about me. They don't. First of all, they don't. They know how much you have in your account. Other than that, they don't really know that much about you. But let me tell you the challenges that I had. I was recently setting up a business account for my IRA that I will use my self-directed IRA to lend on hard money transactions. So I do a lot of hard money. I lend it personally. I have other people that do it as well. If you are high asset and you want to lend your money out at a higher interest rate for people that typically don't qualify but are a good risk, let me know. But anyway, so I was trying to set up this account because I transferred over from a company called Inspira. So I had my self-directed IRA in a company called NewView, and then I could just lend that money out, hard money, and then that client just pays my NewView IRA back. NewView sold to Aspira. What a horrible company they were. Literally very difficult. You couldn't even pull up your statements online. It was so bad. So I transferred over to another company, and that was just an ordeal in itself, just getting it all transferred. Then I had to go set up a bank account. So I went to my bank, Truist. Oh my God. I'm telling you, I swear I felt like pulling all my money out of there. It was pulling teeth. So I went through this is just to open up an account. So the gentleman takes my information. Then he brings in a supervisor. She says, we're going to have to put this in front of our supervisor of supervisors to approve it. I'm like, what seems to be the problem with opening up this business account with you guys? Oh, we'll get back with you. It could take a week to 2 weeks. And I'm like, I don't have that much time and I'm not screwing around with it. So I went over to Chase. So I go into the branch at Chase, and I said, I'd like to set up a business account. She goes, oh, we don't have anybody here to do that. You can either do it online or you can set an appointment, and they're about 3 to 4 days backed up. Now I'm in a bank. It's a giant teller booth. Like they must have room for 40 tellers. There's one person working and there's one person back in one of those back offices, and there's nobody there that can help me. So I try to do it online. What a nightmare that was. Then I said, screw it. I'm going to go to Wells Fargo. So I went to Wells Fargo. I set up the account. Now, I was willing to go into a branch, but they want it all done online now. So I set it up online, and then I get a call from their department asking me questions to verify I'm who I am. Then they asked me for my full social security number on the phone. And I'm like, dude, I am not comfortable giving you my social security number over the phone. I'll stop into your branch and I'll give it to you. Or I can go on your website and put it in the website, but I don't know if it's for sure even you. How am I supposed to know that? So he says, that's okay then. We'll cancel your application for the account. I went, don't do that. I'll just stop in a branch. No, we have to cancel it. I'm like, screw you. So then I went to Charles Schwab because I have money in Charles Schwab. They don't do that kind of account. It was going to be a pain in the butt. So now I've been to Truist, Chase, Wells Fargo. I've been to Charles Schwab. So I am a minor investor in a local bank called Climate First Bank. They're a climate friendly bank, and I have invested in their banks that they have started up for years, and it's worked out well. So I went, you know what? I'm just going to go in there. I stopped in there, and the girl just literally sat down with me, and it took about 2 hours. I'm going to say maybe an hour, but it seemed like 2 hours. But I got the account set up. So I just got so frustrated. Then I got a client on the phone, and it came to me from one of the companies that I do business with, his whole company, on my employee benefit program. If you're a business owner, you should ask me about my employee benefit program, because I help companies help their employees become homeowners. And believe me, according to the Department of Banking and Statistics, your employees will stay with you 4 times longer if they're a homeowner versus a renter. Anyway, they came from Olympia Pharmaceuticals, which I have a special arrangement with. Same with Advent Health. I do special arrangements, and they get discounts off all kinds of services. Anyway, guy calls me up. He says, I'm shopping you against Chase, this Go Mortgage company, and some other company. There was 3 or 4 of them. And every one of them some of them were quoting these rates that they couldn't possibly do. I'm looking at FHA Direct, and they're quoting a rate lower than theirs, and it's not going to happen. And I told the guy, I said, I don't know. Oh, I know. The other one was Zillow Mortgage. They're doing an FHA loan, and they didn't even have mortgage insurance in there. They did not have all of the fees. So he's looking at it going, why are their payments so much lower than Bruce's? Obviously, if you don't have insurance and taxes and PMI in there, it's going to look a lot lower, but you're going to pay them. So I get him on a Zoom call, he and his fiance, and I'm like, look, here's what they're offering you. Here's what I can do for you. And he goes, you know what, Bruce, I'm tired of screwing around with these yahoos. I'm going with you. I know how to reach you. I know where your office is. I am going to do business with you, and we're going to get it wrapped up, and we're going to close on August 12th. So I just want you to know that if you think your bank is better, it is a nightmare. And I don't care. I'll tell you a story. I had a client came to me by a realtor. This was last year. Came to me from a realtor. He says, Bruce, we're supposed to close tomorrow. They were getting their mortgage through Chase, and everything blew up. I went, what do you mean it blew up? Were they not pre-approved? Go, oh no, fully approved. Underwriting, everything. How could that happen? So I get the client on the phone. Come to find out, she works for Chase Bank. She was working in Chase Bank in New York City. They literally relocated her to Florida, approved her for a loan. She went under contract and denied her 2 days prior to the closing. Now, I looked at the loan. I said, there's got to be something wrong with this. And I look at it. I'm like, what is wrong with this? And I could see that there was an issue with a collection or a judgment that she had, but it was minor, and it could have been fixed like easily. So I went, okay, Rudy, just go ahead and contact the clerk of the court, pay that off. Bang. I closed her in 12 days at a better rate than her own bank was giving her. Listen, folks, I've been in this business for 35 years. I've closed like almost 50,000 loans, and I'm in your backyard. I'm a direct lender. I keep 90% of the loans I close in-house. They stay here. You don't have to worry about getting sold. I have every loan program from FHA, VA, conventional, construction, renovation, home equity line of credit, reverse mortgages, you name it, I got it. And I'm direct. There's no middleman. There's no broker scraping money out. It's just me and my team offering you the best service at the best possible interest rates and the best possible terms. So if you think your bank is better, you go ahead and shop them. Matter of fact, shop Rocket while you're at it. I think you should. And then you call me, and we'll look at me, and we'll look at them, and you will have no problem. Or you can quit screwing around with everybody and having your credit pulled all over town, and just call the loan arranger, and I'll get you set up. Look, check out my Google reviews, check out my Yelp reviews, check out my Zillow reviews. They are stellar. Why? Because I care. Why? I'm a direct lender. Why? Everything's done in-house. Why? I want service when I'm doing business with somebody, and I expect you want the same doggone thing. So call me at 813-213-4009. Write my number down, Tampa, 813-213-4009. Purchase or refinance, cash out, debt consolidation, you name it, I got it. Orlando, 407-706-3313. That's 407-706-3313. Or go to webringyouhome.com. It's webringyouhome.com. By the way, here's another thing that irritates me. A lot of you real estate agents out there are horrible. I know you're very nice and you tell everybody you work 7 days a week and you're available 24 hours a day and you know your community, but you're not a good negotiator. You don't fight for your clients. You buckle. And I'm telling you, most of you that out there pick your realtor, you're picking wrong. The client that I talked to went to a Zillow realtor. You know what Zillow does? They charge the realtor to get leads. I don't pay for leads. I believe that if you don't hear about me, I don't deserve your business. I don't advertise. I don't buy leads. All these realtors buy leads. Why? Because they don't have any customers. Why don't they have any customers? Because they suck. That's why. So don't go to a sucky agent. I'm not saying their personality sucks. I'm not saying they're not honest. I'm saying they're not a good advocate, because 9 times out of 10, when you guys come to me for a mortgage and I'm talking to your real estate agent, I know they are leaving your money on the table. They are leaving your money on the table. They're not an advocate and they're weak. And I'll tell the realtor, no, negotiate it like this. Do that, do this, do that, do this. No, the seller said they're not going to do that. I don't care what the seller said. I work for your client. I'm fighting for your client. Can you buck up and start fighting for your client too? Don't you deserve better? The problem is you don't know how to pick better. I do. I know who the good ones are. I know who the not so good ones are. And I can pull up any realtor, any lender, any loan officer, any real estate agent, and I can look at how many transactions they've closed, the address of the transaction they closed on, how much it closed for, how much the offer price was, how much they actually sold it for, how many they sold in every year, how many million, how many units. I can tell you everything. Look up my record. Look up my record and my production. And here's the thing. Some people think, oh, well, he's on the air and he runs a big company. He's a big producer. I'll never hear from him. Wrong. Every one of my clients gets my service. Now, is my team there to cater to you? 100%. You got a whole team. You got 6 people on my team that are there to bend over backwards for you. So I'm not here to gather your pay stubs and your bank statements and all that. They'll do that. I'm here to say, John and Mary, we're going to negotiate like that. Here's what we're going to know on that one. Here's how I would manage that one. Here's what to ask for the seller on that one. Here's how to do this and that. That's what I do. I'm there to make sure that you get good advice. So listen, write my name down. My name is Bruce Woodburn. I go by the Loan Arranger because I arrange loans. You can reach me directly. This is not a call center number, folks. 407-706-3313 or 813-213-4009. Now, or you can go to webringyouhome.com. Oh, by the way, again, for the 15th year, I'm going to be sponsoring the K92.3 All-Star Jam at Additions Arena on August the 17th. I am bringing in some big-time stars. Kane Brown. Matter of fact, some local guys wrote that song that he has a top hit for right here in town. Put some miles on it. I got Brett Young coming. Unbelievable, Brett Young. Chris Lane, incredible. Multi number 1 hits. And then I've got several other stars that are going to be attending, like Ray Lynn, Low Cash. Unbelievable. Low Cash is incredible. So you won't want to miss that concert. I will be sponsoring it. The stage will be the Lone Ranger radio stage. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm going to talk about Jerome Powell and Donald Trump and how this is going to affect interest rates in the future. So do not go anywhere. I'm going to be right back. 407-706-3313 or 813-213-4009 or webringyouhome.com. I'll be right back.